All right, guys, welcome to Let's Rock Reviews. Welcome back to another awesome episode. I'm excited about this one because this was the first album I ever owned.
Oh, nice.
No joke. I was.
No joke.
Do you remember those magazines? And I'll introduce the album in a second. Do you remember those magazines you would get? Not even magazines, but like mailers you would get in the mail to like order DVDs or CDs. Did you ever have those?
Are you referring to the buy 10 for 1 cent each?
Yes. Yes, exactly. I bought this album and then I also bought the Cranberries album, which I later traded to my sister for Green Day Dookie, which is why I bought the Cranberries
Okay,
album because
okay.
she was like, if you're gonna get one, don't get Green Day. I have that one, get the Cranberries and I'll trade you. We're talking
Ah,
about Weezer's Blue album, the first CD I ever owned, and
the very first.
it was a good one to be the first I owned. I was what, 9 at the time this came out?
Yeah.
Dang.
That's crazy. Yeah, and I think we've mentioned in previous episodes, it's like, where do we go? We did all those episodes of the Foo Fighters albums, and we can't just, I don't know. I feel like we were trying to decide, do we just pick random albums? But there is a reason we are picking this album, and it's because this is the 30th anniversary of the Blue Album. One
Hence
of
why I
the,
alluded to 30 years ago.
yeah. And yeah, there was, big celebration for it, a re-release or a remaster. There was a concert for it. So we felt like it was appropriate to discuss this album. So, and I'm so glad it was your first album.
It
I
really was, and I'm not just saying that because it's what we're talking about today. It really was the first album I ever owned,
Yeah.
and it's for that reason always will have a special place. But
I'll admit that I my first introduction to Weezer wasn't the Blue Album. And don't give me a hard time, because during this release I was only 8 years old. So
well,
I
I was
wasn't.
only 9, but
Yeah.
I knew of them because of my older sister's friends would always come over, and they introduced me to this one. So when I was able to order a CD, I was like, "Oh, I want that Weezer, or I want that blue CD."
The Blue
It's
one.
9. I didn't know who Weezer was, but I knew that the blue CD was cool.
Yeah. Well, my introduction to them was shortly after. I remember seeing the music videos for The Good Life and El Scorcho off their
El
next
Scorcho.
album,
Yes.
Pinkerton. And I'm like, these guys are pretty good. And so yeah, from there it's like, okay, Weezer, Pinkerton, going back, oh, okay, they have the Blue album. So, but yeah,
It's funny. We talked about doing giving them the same treatment as we did the Foo Fighters because of the 30th anniversary, and then we realized, well, didn't realize, but then we thought about the fact that they have 15 studio albums. The
yeah,
concert was
yeah,
very soon, so
yeah,
we were like, no, not so much. We're just gonna
yeah.
we're just gonna talk about the 30th anniversary of the Blue album.
Right. Maybe
Um,
if the tour was next, or I guess now this year, later in the
yeah.
year, maybe we could pull it off. But
Oh, that's crazy.
we,
It is next year already.
yeah, yep.
Interesting.
Happy 2025, everyone.
But I love this record. It's kind of like introduces a lot of stuff. It's different from a lot of the stuff that it was going on at the time. In fact,
Yeah,
at first they had a hard time publishing it because, or not publishing it. I'm sorry, they had a hard time getting traction and getting people to like appreciate their music or listen to music because it was like right in the middle of that grunge era where everyone was listening to
yeah,
grunge and that was the real popular stuff. So at first they didn't gain a lot of traction, but soon they caught the attention of the right people, recorded an album, and the rest is history.
yeah. Well, it's interesting you bring up the whole grunge scene. This was released pretty shortly after Kurt Cobain's death. And Rivers talked about, he was a big fan of Nirvana, and he actually mentioned, he's like, I wonder if Kurt would have enjoyed our music. And he said that in like the um, just with high regards to Kurt, like he was hoping that Kurt would enjoy his music. He
Yeah.
thought so highly of him. So, but yeah, just interesting. Um, it is very different from the grunge scene. So very
Yeah.
different album, very different style of music. But what was really interesting that caught my eye, when you picture and hear Weezer, you kind of think, they have that kind of like nerdy look to them, looking at them on the Blue album, and then maybe later on in the Green album, they've got that nerdy ensemble. There's an LA Times article talking about the 30th anniversary of this album, and what was it? Rivers. Anyway, it's in that article, but just talking about Rivers before Weezer, he was actually like he had long hair. He was like really into heavy metal, so like it. For those of you that know Weezer, just looking at him now, you would not picture Rivers that way. You kind of always just
As a
assumed.
long-haired metalhead.
Yeah, so I thought that was an interesting fact. Very, very different from what he was.
Yeah, for sure. These guys have done some pretty incredible things over the years too. A
Hmm.
lot of compilations with other people, a lot of course albums, a lot of songs. I you got to think about some of the songs that Rivers has done, and I've got the magic in me with the artist B.O.B. That one was sticks out in my mind. I love that song so
Mm,
much.
nice.
And then when they recently redid "Take on Me,"
Oh yeah.
recently-ish, I guess. I have no concept of time at this age.
The well, the whole Teal album, just compilations of all these different covers. I mean, I think he does like a Sabbath one,
Yeah.
Paranoid. What else? Africa. That's probably one of
Total.
their. Yeah, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, Tears for Fears, but lots of good ones. But
For
back to
sure.
the Blue album.
Anyway,
Check that
back to
out if
why we're
you're.
here.
Yeah. You know, in the LA Times article, I thought another interesting fact. Rivers didn't think he was really a singer uh, compared to other singers he played with. And what I found interesting, I actually heard that with Robert Smith of The Cure as well. Like he didn't intend to be the singer of the band. I mean, The Cure, that's like one of the biggest
Huge.
bands there is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
huge.
Like people admire him and think he's a great singer. And so I just find it interesting that's not uncommon to hear like the singers may not have always wanted to be the singer, but it would be hard to imagine Rivers not being the singer of Weezer.
Right? It would
Very
be.
odd.
So the Blue album, why the Blue album is I love this story, the Beach Boys. They pattern it after, am I wrong there? Beach Boys,
No,
right?
Rivers he mentions Beach Boys quite often.
Yeah,
Like
so
looking up different songs, just the album as a whole.
they
He
were
definitely mentions Beach Boys as an influence.
there was a Beach Boys picture of the four guys standing in front of a blue background dressed in like striped outfits, and they were actually originally gonna wear striped outfits like as a parody of that cover, and that was gonna be their cover. But when they took the pictures of them in these outfits, they were like, oh, actually we kind of like that, let's just leave it as that. So that
Yeah.
was something I read about. I just thought that was interesting. Shout
You
out
know
to the Beach
what's
Boys.
yeah, you know what's wild to think though? Like Beach Boys, they're big in the 60s. So like in the 90s, Beach Boys was like 30 years ago. And for me, like in the 90s, Beach Boys, that's like, oh man, that's old.
Yeah.
But like you shift that 30 years.
Can you stop aging us, please?
Yeah.
I want to think about how old I am, man.
We looking back at Weezer, it's like, oh, that's that same 30 years. If we were to go back to the 90s and look back to the Beach Boys, if that made sense
That's
at all.
funny.
So
That's funny.
yeah,
Yeah.
30 years, but this album still holds up. I
Oh, it
love,
does.
it, yeah, great song.
I
great.
still like anytime one of these songs comes on or I hear it or I come across it or if I just want to listen, I like these songs are still amazing. Like I still would listen to these songs readily any day at any time. And the great part, and you know, it's there's kind of like listening bias, I guess, because you've heard it enough, but every single song on this album hits good. Like
Yeah.
they're all good songs. There's not
Yeah.
one that I skip over, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, this album, it's certified quintuple platinum in 2024. It's their best-selling album. It sold 5 million copies in the US. I already mentioned that. That's quintuple. More than
Quintuple.
more than 15 million worldwide by 2009. It's been named one of the best albums of the 1990s by several publications. In 2020, Rolling Stone ranked it number 294 on its list of the 500 greatest albums of all time. I haven't looked at the entire list there, but
Wait,
you know,
Rolling Stone did a top 500
greatest albums of all time.
and that Weezer was which one? 294?
294. That seems kind of low on the list.
It
I
really
feel like that should
does
be.
consider. Hold on, I want to look at this list real quick. Anyway, keep talking, but I'm going to look up this list.
Yeah. Oh, that was actually pretty much all I had.
Oh,
Yeah, it
okay.
seems low because I don't feel like they were, bands were producing bangers, back in the 20s and 30s or, you know, previous centuries. So yeah,
Yeah, I understand that.
yeah. Something we mentioned while you're looking that up, one thing they did for this 30th anniversary, they remastered the album. And so remaster of the album, but they also have like B-sides and live songs, which is pretty awesome. You could buy a vinyl or a CD kit or whatever. There's like memorabilia there. You know what's really weird though? Like it's as I listened to the remaster, it felt just a little off. Like
Really?
when you listen to an album for decades and it sounds different, it it just I don't know, I couldn't do it. It's like I'm so used to like the just it kind of reminds me of Foo Fighters when they were like recording analog. It's like they really just like that, the imperfections of it. So there's
Yeah. Oh,
something
yeah.
about
I like that. Yeah, that's a perfect analogy. The imperfections within the music, for sure.
yeah, and not necessarily it's like just about the imperfections, but it's just like what I've been used to for decades. It's like I kind of need that. If you haven't listened to the Blue album much, I would recommend the remaster because it sounds great. The quality's good, but it's yeah, just a little different for me.
But yeah, that's the
Well,
Blue album.
yeah,
Iconic. I mean, everybody knows this album. Like anyone who has any idea of music is aware of Weezer's Blue album and how impactful and iconic it is.
for sure.
So just for reference,
Ah,
293 is the Breeders' Last Splash. And then 292 is Van Halen.
interesting.
Just thought I'd name a few more in the list.
Very
This is
cool.
a great list.
Well,
Anyway,
one thing we should point out, not only did they do a remaster for this 30th anniversary, they had a tour. And it was, what was the title of it?
they did.
Voyage to the Blue Planet, where they were able to play this album in its entirety. And I had the opportunity to go to it, and it was amazing.
You know what's really
Um,
cool is there's people who like bands, you know, that haven't heard music in a while. Like I gotta confess, we went to that 311 concert, and I haven't listened to a lot of their new stuff, so I wasn't totally familiar. And so a lot of people they listen to a band like Weezer, but then they haven't heard them in a few years, and they're like, "Oh, Weezer's playing," they go. But the fact that they played the entire Blue album, it's like that's pretty cool. That's pretty special. Like because you can go
yeah,
and know exactly what to expect. I like that a lot.
yeah, for sure. Also, I mean, we've done it for the Foo Fighters concert. We did it for the Aquabats review. As we were discussing earlier, you mentioned I should have a three. my three highlights of the concert. So
You got it, man. You got it. All right, so let's hear it. Number one or number three, third favorite or highlight of the concert. What was it?
all right. I think I'm gonna go with the theme of the concert. It wasn't just like, hey, we're playing the um the Blue Album in its entirety. They called it The Voyage to the Blue Planet. So it was fun. They had like all sorts of props on the stage. It was like there's like a spaceship they came out of. They were in like um these like spacesuits, I think. I
That's
can't
really
remember
cool.
at the top of my head, but yeah, it just felt like you were in there with them, but you were like somewhere else. It was just fun. It wasn't anything like crazy, but it was, just fun. So I thought that just the added elements to
It's
it.
fun
It's
because
like,
that's more like that's engagement for the fans and stuff.
exactly. I feel like all my highlights are kind of intertwined with each other, but I'll still keep them as separate ones. My second highlight was the added songs that they played. So half the set was the Blue Album in its entirety. Before they did that, though, the first half, they played just a bunch of other hits. So it was kind of cool because it was like songs that people knew, but it was like songs, throughout the entire catalog. Well, maybe not the entire catalog because there's 15 albums, but like a lot of the big hits, a lot of the ones people knew. And it just felt just like the icing on the cake. It's like, the concert would have been amazing if you went just to hear the Blue Album, but the fact that half of it was all these other hits, it was great. So,
Nice.
and my next highlight, it's kind of intertwined with that second one, was just all the Pinkerton songs that they played. I think they played four from the album, whereas like some of the other songs in that first half, I think there was an album they had two, but they definitely focused on Pinkerton, which I loved. I was like, if there's an album to do that too, it was that one. One thing I will point out, I was hoping they would play, The Good Life and El Scorcho, and they played neither of those actually. So I found that kind of interesting. But the fact that they played four other songs that maybe you wouldn't have expected, it was still kind of fun. It was, part of me was like, right afterwards, it's like, oh, I wanted to hear those two songs. But then shortly after, it's like, hey, I'm kind of glad they went with something unique. So it was fun to hear all of those songs. And yeah, just the fact that there were those three highlights and then the entire Blue Album, it was an amazing concert. They put on,
Nice.
yeah. I remember before this concert was announced, there was an interview with Rivers saying, they're approaching the 30th anniversary. Um, he was saying like, we'll have to do some sort of concert, and I got pumped immediately when he said that, and yeah, they did not disappoint. They exceeded my expectations of what they were going to do. So
That's awesome, man.
yeah.
That's great. It's great that they kicked it old school to the Pinkerton album, like to
Oh yeah,
have
yeah.
to more probably cater to older fans of Weezer.
Yeah.
Being
Yep.
at the Blue Album tour and all.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as always, we go down a run through of all the songs real quick. We'll go down them and talk about each one just briefly, so we can highlight some of the great parts of and great stories about these songs. The first one, My Name is Jonas.
My name is Curtis. I like to sing it with my name in there. I'm pretty sure he meant to use my name, but anyway,
He
no.
meant to use my name.
A good intro song.
Yes, indeed it is.
It is in Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock.
Nice.
Taking Back Sunday did a cover of this song.
Yes,
They
they
did
did.
pretty. Yeah, they did pretty good. It was good sounding. It the vocals. I mean, I listened to some Taking Back Sunday, but the vocals just it just didn't match Weezer. There's like just a little more intensity to the vocals, so I was like, it's great effort, but it's just like I
Nice
just want to hear.
try, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah. No dig on Taking Back Sunday. They're a good band.
Yeah, because when you do a cover of a song, you put your own little twist on it, so it's
Yeah, I can't blame them,
some.
Uh,
I will be honest though, sometimes these cover songs that bands do of other bands are better than the original. Not in this case. I love Taking Back
yeah,
Sunday, don't get me wrong, but not in this case. But sometimes it's
yeah,
like, oh, I like this version a little better.
yeah. I don't know if you saw part of this song is about Rivers Cuomo's. That sounds weird with the double S's at the end. Rivers Cuomo's brother.
Brother. Yes.
Yeah, he was involved in a car accident and had an issue over the insurance, which explains some of the lines like, guess what I received in the mail today? Words of deep concern from my little brother. So
From my little brother.
that is based on a true story. He's okay though.
Yes. Yes, indeed
Yeah.
he is. All right, song number 2, No One Else.
Interesting song.
This one always made me laugh.
Yeah. I remember just hearing the lyrics and I was just like, this is what? But it is satire. It's
Yeah.
not like an actual like, hey, this is yeah. Some of the lyrics you'll see, I want a girl who will laugh for no one else. When I'm
I
away,
want a
she
girl
puts her
who
makeup
makeup
on
on
the
the
shelf.
shelf.
Yeah. When I'm away, she never leaves the house. It's like, what?
Wait, what? Like others that like laughs for no one else, you're like, okay, but never leaves the house, you're like, what?
Yeah, it's kind of a little on the creepy side, but hearing
Yeah.
it's satire, it's like, okay, all right, well,
We'll
all
let it
right,
slide.
yeah. But yeah, it's a jealous, obsessive guy in me freaking out. Anyway, yeah, satire.
Yeah, for sure.
For those that are into like musicians, you play instruments yourselves or recording, No One Else is notable for being the only track on the Blue album played in standard tuning. All other tracks were recorded a half step down. I'll be honest, I don't know what that means, but thought I'd throw that out there.
That is interesting. It just means they
Yep.
tune their guitars down a
Okay.
little bit.
I don't play guitar, so I wouldn't know.
That's
Although
interesting.
Andrew got a guitar for Christmas and he's getting
Yeah?
pretty pumped. He's getting pretty pumped playing it so far.
That's
So
awesome.
we'll
That's
have
awesome. Oh,
to.
I got to hear him play.
Oh yeah,
That's
he'll
cool.
be pumped to show you.
Nice. All right, song number 3, The World Has Turned and Left Me Here, featured in The Vampire Diaries. Never watched
There
the
you go.
show, but I just read this.
Sure, Kyle.
Yeah.
Just you can tell us.
It's my favorite show.
I do it.
No, definitely never seen the show, but having it's in that show. I don't know in what instance, whether it's just played in a specific episode or they use it more than once or what have you, but somehow featured in that show.
This song is actually this song is connected in a way to track 2, No One Else. It's about the same guy from the song No One Else wondering why the girl's gone now.
Okay, I do know this show. My wife watched this show. I have seen a few episodes. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. I can't lie. I've seen a few episodes of this show.
Nice.
But not my particular brand of TV show. That's for sure.
I don't have another embarrassing fact, but one other fact. this is actually one of Weezer's oldest songs. It
Yeah, he
was
wrote
written
it
by,
before they were a band. River
yeah,
did.
around a year before the band actually got together.
That's kind of cool. It's kind of
Yeah.
cool to know, like, he was like, hey guys, I kind of wrote this song a long time ago. You want to hear
Yeah.
it? Maybe we could put it in.
Yeah. Great song.
All right, Buddy Holly. I love this song.
Buddy Holly. This is, even if you're not like a Weezer fan, or even if you're not like, who's Weezer? Like, if you heard this song, like, you'll be like, oh yeah, I've heard this song. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
everyone's
yeah.
heard this song.
Everyone's heard this
Sorry if
song.
you haven't, if you're listening, but this is, yeah, the second single released off of this album. Um, K Rock, I actually just saw this today. K Rock came out with a top 500 songs of the past 30 years, and this is number 25. And see, this ranking seems,
That ranking seems a little better.
yeah,
We are
the
we are probably a little biased in that, but
yeah, maybe, I don't know. 294 for the whole Blue album. That seemed, I mean, I'm not expecting the Blue album to be like top 10, although it could be. But like 294, that seemed a little absurd. But yeah, top
I
500 songs.
I
This is
did
number
look
25
I did look at the top of the list, by the way.
of the K Rock one or the Rolling Stone one.
No, the Rolling Stone one.
Oh, okay. What was number
Nirvana
one?
Nevermind was number 4.
Okay. And that seems like, yeah, the influence it had on the music scene, that seems justifiable. That seems, yeah.
I think number 1
And
was like Marvin Gaye.
okay. You know what's something crazy I heard about this,
Yeah.
about Buddy Holly? There was an interview they had with Rivers, and Buddy Holly was almost not on the album.
Oh,
Was
really?
almost did not make the Blue album. He he kind of had the song, and they were planning on having it for Pinkerton actually. But yeah, the producer, Rick Okasik, he was just kind of like, yeah, let's record it. We can decide later, if we want to put it on the album. This was like towards the end of recording, but yeah, they ended up putting it on. It's like, that would be, like, thinking back, it's like, that would be so strange if this was not on the Blue album. It would still be a great album, but like, I feel like Buddy Holly really just like took it up to the next level.
Yeah, it was kind of funny too. They'd come into the studio in the morning and they'd find little notes that said, "We want Buddy Holly,"
Yeah.
like because they wanted to include it, and Rivers didn't want to do it at first. That's just hilarious to me.
Yeah. Fun music video as well.
Oh yeah,
Going old school with Happy Days. Happy Days theme. They're playing at the diner, and everyone starts dancing to this, and just a fun music video.
yeah, oh yeah. All right, Undone, the sweater song.
This was the first single off the album, and this was also on K Rock's top 500. This was in at number 65 though, but still 65. That's of the past 30 years. That's pretty good ranking. And this was actually originally called Undone, and it didn't have in parentheses the sweater song in the title, but like people just kept calling it the sweater song, so they're like, okay, well, we'll just have that in the title now.
And appropriate to our podcast, one time, Dave Grohl actually played live with them. He played this
Ah,
song with them live.
I did not know that. That's fun.
Just fun fact from it was like early 2000s or something like that. I just remember seeing it
Okay,
somewhere. He played
very
it live with
cool.
them.
Awesome. There's Weezer press kit. Rivers was saying, "Undone is the feeling you get when the train stops and the little guy comes knocking on your door. It was supposed to be a sad song, but everyone thinks it's hilarious." I think that's kind of fun, like how people can like make a song kind of their own. It's like, no, this is what it means. And it's just like, well,
Well, it is one of the beautiful things about art.
yeah.
Something we've talked about a lot of times is like it's open up to interpretation in a lot of cases. It's like, what does it mean to you? Is it supposed to, you know what I mean? And then every person has their own thoughts or ideas.
Yeah, indeed. Oh, yeah, there's also a Rolling Stone article. Cuomo has also said that it was his attempt at writing a Velvet Underground type song, but he later
Interesting.
called the song an inadvertent derivative of Metallica's "Welcome Home" Sanitarium, with the band's metal roots showing through. And yeah, "Welcome Home" Sanitarium off of their Metallica's album Master of Puppets. I never made the connection, but I went back and listened to that song and like kind of in the intro, and it's like, oh my gosh, like now I can't unhear it.
Oh,
Like
now
I
I'm gonna have to go listen to it with that in mind to see.
yeah,
I do
just
like the
listen to
beginning of this song too, though.
oh yeah.
You go to the party after the show? I want to go. My friends don't really want to go. Can I get a ride?
Just yeah, just the conversation.
So good.
Who is it? Bassist Matt Sharp and uh, just another friend of the band. Yeah, having a conversation. They
I
were
really
gonna,
relate to the guy who's just mumbling in the background. He's just like,
yeah,
yeah, oh yeah, cool, that's awesome.
yeah. Apparently, they were going to insert just sound clips. I forgot which sound clips it was, but certain sound clips. But they were worried about licensing, so they're
Oh
like, "All
yeah,
right, let's change it to just a conversation we're having."
that's interesting. Yeah, they did that. There's a couple bands that did that. Used to do stuff like that. 18 Visions
Yeah.
is one of them. They would always put like movie clips in the beginning of their songs.
Interesting. But yeah, if you haven't listened to this song, those that are listening right now,
Then where
go
have you
check
been for the
out.
past 30 years?
Right? Yeah. Go listen to this, and also go listen to Metallica's "Welcome Home" Sanitarium. See if you can connect the dots there.
Yeah, I gotta do that.
Not the whole songs, but just yeah, the intros of both songs.
Yeah. Next one is Surf Wax America, which features, in my opinion, one of the best lines of lyric in any song ever created
That
in
is
the world.
bold. That is
It
a
is
bold
bold, but listen to the
proclamation.
lyric.
All right,
I'm going
ready.
surfing because I don't like your face. It's so good. It's so good. I mean, I know
that
it's an
is
opinionated thing, but I think that's
that
one of the greatest lyrics ever.
that is art right there.
I'm going surfing because I don't like your face. He says it with such like, I really don't like your face. Like I'm leaving because I don't even want
Yeah.
to look at you.
Oh man. It's a great song. It's like just that feel good up tempo song. It's like just want to go to the beach, you know. Um, yeah, this is one where you see those Beach Boys that influence
Oh yeah, for
Rivers. He
sure.
loved the Beach Boys. It's kind of like Beach Boys with punk rock. Just a great like meshing of the two.
Yeah, it's a great way to put it.
Yeah. Pat Wilson, the drummer, there's an interview. He said, "I don't believe any of us had ever surfed at that point."
That makes this song so much better.
Right? Let's write a song about surfing, guys.
You ever surf?
Oh,
No, me? No, not
yeah.
me. Have you? No.
Just sing about how you don't like their face. Just put that in there.
Yeah. Although it does like relate to like, I don't know, like it seems like it's a, you take your car to work, I'll take my board, and when you're out of fuel, I'm still afloat. talking
Mhm.
against whatever they're talking against, but like just saying the freedom of being on a board, I guess, even though they've never been on one, but
Yeah.
something along those lines.
Good stuff.
Have you ever been surfing?
I have. Yeah,
Surfing
we
is
we
it's
went
pretty incredible.
surfing back in high school.
Yeah, I'm sure we did.
There's
We would have.
Yeah, I mean, not a lot, but I mean, I
No,
think maybe
I've only been a handful of times, but
yeah.
I
I've
love it.
been a few other times, but I'm actually really big into skimboarding. That's been
Oh,
fun to
nice.
do. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it
I'm
is
not
fun.
good, but I like it.
You don't have to be good to have fun at something, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway. All right, next. Say It Ain't So.
Man, this one's solid. This was the third and final single, and this is also on K Rock's top 500 of past 30 years. This came in at number 50.
Geez, 3 songs and one album that came out 30 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't think K Rock
Three.
has listened to a lot of songs in the last 30 years. This is 3 of them were from 30
there,
years ago.
yeah. There's only 7 albums on that list. No, I'm just joking.
The guy who made it quit K Rock like 25 years ago.
Oh shoot, that list is due tomorrow. Weezer.
Weezer, Green
No.
Day, Red Hot Chili. If it's K Rock, then I bet you anything they have like 10 Red Hot Chili Pepper songs on there.
Oh yeah, yeah. We'll have to do an episode on that list.
Yeah, that'd
But
be cool.
yeah. Anyway, no, it's not just K Rock though. There's a whole list of rankings. Again, Loudwire, they ranked the song number 3 on their list of the 10 greatest Weezer songs. In 2021, we haven't brought Kerrang up in a
I was
while.
just gonna say, where's the Kerrang reference, bro?
Yeah. If you've listened to our Foo Fighters episodes, we quoted Kerrang a lot. But anyway, 2021, Kerrang ranked the song number 2 on their list of the 20 greatest Weezer songs. In '08, Rolling Stone ranked Say It Ain't So number 72 on their list of the 100 greatest guitar songs of all time.
Oh,
Uh,
dang.
Pitchfork included the song at number 10 on its top 200 tracks of the 1990s.
Oh, wow.
And
That's
yeah,
huge.
yeah, yeah. The
Think about a
first
lot of
two I
music.
mentioned, that was just like Weezer songs, but Rolling Stone and Pitchfork, that was like, you know, all
All
bands of
songs, yeah.
like certain eras. And anyway, um, one thing I loved, I mean, kind of stepping away from the song itself, but the music video during the guitar solo, the band is playing hacky sack. And that just took me back to, when we were in high school.
Every single day at lunch during high school.
And not just lunch, but PE as well. I
Any
don't,
chance we had, any chance we could.
yeah. It's like, we're supposed to be learning like shoot a basketball or, hit a tennis ball. And we're just like there with a bunch of other people and we're all just playing hacky sack. And anyway, good times.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
In the garage. Song. In the garage.
Great song. We see a little more of I don't say we see, but we understand more Rivers' love for metal and just heavy rock, like we talked about before he joined Weezer. Part of the lyrics, I've got posters on the wall. My favorite rock group, Kiss.
Kiss. Yep.
Yeah. In the 30th anniversary remaster, the collection that comes with either the CDs or the vinyl, there's a poster of the band Weezer dressed like Kiss. So it's definitely one of Rivers' favorite bands.
Right there, when I bought the vinyl, that's what it came with for me.
Oh,
But
nice.
I didn't buy the remaster, the new one. It just came with that poster.
Okay.
But I bought the vinyl years ago, long time ago.
Very good.
Yeah.
And yeah, this song, it's in connection of like the actual like garage that they played in. There's I was gonna say I don't want to give away the address, but if you Google it, it's there for everyone to see. I don't think it's like they're still playing there or
Secret.
anything.
Yeah.
I wonder who does live there. I wonder how many fans actually like show up.
Stop by. Like, can we take a picture of your garage? I'm
Yeah.
just trying to live my life.
Yep, but yeah, just like a one-car garage, laundry room was converted into a practice and demo recording spot. I guess the landlords in the main house were a little confused. Uh, I guess they were told the guys were UCLA film students, but yeah, that would have been fun to. We should go check it out. It's in the LA area.
That's cool, man. Yeah, we should. We should drive over there one time. Like, we just wanted to look at your garage real quick.
Yeah, take some pictures. This song, along with My Name is Jonas, uses the harmonica. Pretty fun fact.
Yes.
Good song.
I'm looking up the garage. So I want to see it.
Are you looking up the address, or you want to see actual images?
I was seeing if people had like pictures up of it.
Okay.
So I thought that'd be interesting if people just drove by and like took pictures of the garage.
I would build a fence around my house and be like, go away,
right?
everyone. Or maybe just like use it as a tourist attraction. You know, hey.
Make some money, man. Hey, $10, I'll let you in the garage, dude.
This is the garage. Just put up like a Kiss poster.
Yep.
That's
cool. Great song either way. Love that song.
Yeah.
Holiday.
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 I hate to say this, but it might be the song I listen to the least on the album. And
It's got to be one of those, right?
Exactly. It's like I always hate those lists where it's like ranking the songs, because it's like you look at the song at the bottom of the list, and it's like, hey, I like that song. It's like
my favorite is this song, my second favorite is this one, and all the rest are tied for third.
Exactly. Yeah. It's still a good song. It's still in my top 10 songs on the album, even though there's 10 songs. But it's
in my top 10. That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
All these songs are in my top 10.
Yeah. It's there's some lyrics. Oh yeah. Just the opening lyric. Let's go away for a while.
You and I?
Yeah. Likely inspired by the Beach Boys track, Let's Go Away for a While.
I wonder.
Yeah. I feel like
similar.
I feel like Rivers might like the Beach Boys.
I think he does. I think he has some affinity towards listening to them, or giving homage to them.
Yeah. I will say I do like in the song, there's like doo-wop a cappella, kind of like midway through the song. That makes it a little fun and different.
Do 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 do. It is. Anyway, Only in Dreams.
Last song.
See what I mean?
This is Weezer's longest song off their first album, and even after 15 albums, this remains their longest one.
Because it's 8 minutes and 3 seconds. Who makes a song that long anymore?
Yeah, I mean, Tool,
Oh yeah, they do. I stand corrected. I don't know what
thinking. That's their like intro.
That's the intro to a Tool song right there. That's funny.
It's I mean, definitely different different vibes than all the other ones. You know, they all have a certain vibe to them, but this is more of like the slower, um, yeah, slow dance song, if you want to refer to it that way.
You know, it's amazing to me that 30 years in, there's still music like this that just is better than a lot of the stuff that we still hear today. Like there's still people ranking this stuff higher up, and I know that'll change over time as more and more music comes out. But it's incredible that we're still talking about this. You know, that
Yeah,
the Blue album has held up this much over the years, all the introduction, all the new music, all the new bands and songs, and it's still, you know, and yeah, there might be a nostalgia factor in that, but at the same time, it's just good music.
yeah,
Well done, well written, well played, original, good music.
indeed.
Semi-original. There was some reliance on the Beach Boys. Maybe. I'm just kidding.
Maybe. I thought one other thing about Only in Dreams. In 2006, Rivers was asked which Weezer guitar solo he was the most proud of or likes the most. And he answered, I'd have to go with Only in Dreams.
That's cool.
Yeah. He says, epic, epic, epic. So few people play these kinds of solos anymore. Which, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because it's a long song. It's kind of, slower, but at the end, he still throws in the killer solo.
Oh yeah,
But yeah,
that's cool.
overall, I mean, good variety to the song, but also good variety to the whole album. I like just the ending touch, the song. Got all sorts of fun up tempo songs, maybe a little more just rocking out, or you get a good variety listening to this album. I mean, I'd say the best Weezer album, Pinkerton. It's right up there with it. But even, I mean, the Blue album itself, it still holds up today. It's still a great, great album. I loved seeing just on social media, like all the people that did go to this tour, just seeing like all the other people our age still going to concerts, and
Yeah,
it's just great music.
it
And I
is.
mean, like, oh, I almost forgot two parts, but I love that, like, Andrew, he's getting into this album. He got a Weezer shirt for Christmas. He
Nice.
asked, yeah, he asked for. He's like, I want to get a Weezer shirt.
That's
He
so cool.
loves, yeah. He asked to put this in the car while we're driving. So I guess I'll go ahead and transition to his review.
Yes.
Let me turn this up. Make sure we can hear. All right, give me a thumbs up. Make sure the volume's good. Andrew, welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah, we are reviewing Weezer's Blue album,
Yes.
which has been around
For
over
too long.
30 years now.
For too
When
long.
this first came out, I was younger than how old you are now.
Okay. I feel like I shouldn't say my age.
Okay,
Strictly forbidden. I'm sorry.
no worries. That's all good.
I'm sorry, peeps.
What are your thoughts on the Blue album?
It's good. Oh, and I've seen on YouTube there's a 2024 remaster
Yes,
of the whole album.
Yep.
Which is pretty cool.
definitely. Do you have a favorite song on the album?
If I had to narrow it down, I would do My Name is Jonas, Say It Ain't So, Undone, the Sweater Song, and Buddy Holly
Nice.
is probably my favorite.
Good call. Yeah, it's hard to choose one. I feel like there's a good song for just about any mood you're in. So, great album. Any other last thoughts?
Oh yeah, the song Buddy Holly, I thought this is interesting. They just completely start out the song like with words. Like in one of the last podcasts for the Foo Fighters, usually songs start out with like music, like and then
some
keep
sort of
building
intro.
to it, and then start with the words. But this, it's like, what's with these homies dissing my girl?
Yeah.
And just like, I'm sorry for my bad singing voice.
No, I thought it was great. Awesome. Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you.
We'll have to recommend this to everyone.
Bye, Kyle.
Yes.
I loved how it's like, he says, if I had to narrow it down.
If I had to narrow it down, and the name's off half the album.
Yeah. But I mean, it's true. It's like, yeah, you kind of have to include so many different songs.
I'm going to ask you this, Kurt. What's your favorite song off the album?
Oh my gosh.
You weren't expecting it, but I'm going to ask you now. You got to pick one.
Oh my gosh. Can I choose like?
No, you can choose one. Because I want to do that. I want to make you uncomfortable with this because I know you don't want to choose one. I'm going to choose. I'm going to tell you first. I'll tell you mine, and then you can pick.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to go. And keep that in mind that it's like number 1 and 2 are like the 100-yard dash in the Olympics close. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like first and second place are milliseconds off. But I'm going with number 1. It's so close. It's so close. I'm going to say Surf Wax America with a very close In the Garage second.
Oh, interesting.
But Surf Wax America, I just love that. It's such a fun song. It's such a fun song. So I'm definitely going Surf Wax America. They're all good. Don't get me wrong. Like, Undone, iconic song in my life.
Oh, yeah,
Buddy Holly, My Name is Jonas. So many good songs. But Surf Wax America's got to be my number 1.
Nice. All right. Oh, man.
Do it.
Okay.
Do it.
Do it. I might, for my number 1, go with Say It Ain't So.
Nice.
Yeah. It's just a solid song. It's interesting because, like, if I were to describe the album, like, I would talk about, just so many good upbeat songs. It's interesting because Say It Ain't So is not one of their, like,
not at all
ones. It's more serious.
If there's an opposite to Surf Wax America, it would be Say It Ain't So.
Yeah. And I love the guitar solo in there, and it's just a great song. So for my number 2, though, I'm gonna put Undone and Buddy Holly to the side, not because I don't like them, but because it's like I want to reach outside of the hits.
Yeah.
And the 2 songs that are fighting for the position would also be Surf Wax America and My Name is Jonas. So to be different, I'm going to say My Name is Jonas since you picked Surf Wax America.
I like it.
Yeah. It's just a great intro to the album. It's just fun and upbeat, and
we go all the way. It's just good, man. It's just such a good album with so many good songs.
Yeah. And you know what? If we were to do this recording next week, that ranking might change.
Right? It depends on which song I've listened to most recently.
Yeah.
Because my number 1 could easily be My Name is Jonas or, Undone,
Yeah. Yeah. And even though for this ranking, I said I'm going to put Buddy Holly and Undone to the side next week, maybe I'm feeling Buddy Holly is my number 1.
Yep. All right, man. That's been the Blue Album. Classic, iconic album in the world of music. Doesn't matter what kind of music you listen to. Doesn't matter what you like, what you don't like. The fact of the matter is, this is an iconic album. It stands the test of time. It's been around forever, and it's often referred back to as, one of the greats.
Yeah,
by many
not just
people.
for Weezer, but just rock
in music in general. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for listening as always. We appreciate you guys, and we will see you in the next one.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.